Now you can understand what a role is. What you stand for different people. Your position to different people marks your roles. If you are a man, maybe you are somebody's son, you are somebody's advisor, you're somebody's teacher, you're somebody's student, you're somebody's mentor, you're somebody's mentee, you are somebody's whatever, husband, you're somebody's father. That particular standing you are standing to these different people marks a role for you. They are different role function, So management has different role function for different people in any system where they belong to. The word management are normally used in three phases. Let me use phases instead of level. One, management is a body of study. You hear people say that I'm reading management science. True of us, that means that is study. You hear people say that they are in management cadre. That means management is a cadre, it's a position. You hear people saying that we are the management of this person. It also means that management is a body of people, not only body of knowledge. So the management we are referring here is body of people. You get it? Now it's body of people saddled with running organization. Now in your own case now, saddled with running your organization. These are the management we talk. They can have different tags. They may be answering Senate. They may be answering management. They may be used to another balance or another vocabulary. But the issue is that they are body of organizational movers. They move the organization. They drive the organization. They take decisions for the organization. They determine the organization. These are people called management. So we are not looking at the body of knowledge, which is management science or management and we're also not looking at the position. We are looking at now there is what we call management practices. That is when the shop comes to shore. How are they applying what they do to organization? How do they practice what is being taught as their role or function in the place where they are giving direction? So that is called management practices. Management principle can be the same, but the application in different level can change. Did you hear what I said? Yes. Management principles are not changeable. They are same. But where they are applied can change. Management remain management, but the way it is applied in the university may not be the same way it is applied in the marketplace. It may not be the same way it is applied in the church place. It may not be the same way it is applied in the political arena, but the principle is the same. Let me give you one of the principles. One of the principles is that in management, it is encouraged. The principle of delegation means authority and the power can be delegated to somebody, and the delegator bears the full responsibility of whatever is delegated. But the way I delegate something, if I'm a president or vice president, may not be exactly the same way somebody in the market will delegate something to his apprentice or to his senior servant. Did you get the point? Yes. Okay. The way I delegate something as the manager of a company may not be the same way a team leader can delegate to a team member. So that means it is the same delegation principle, but the way they are practiced in different places now differ. Okay. So we will look at roles are looked from angles of role function and role processes, overseeing and directing the activities of others to achieve organizational goals. Now, you must have heard people define management as body of people that direct organizational members to achieve the corporate goals. That is the definition of management. Put in another way, a manager is somebody who directs organizational members to achieve organizational goals. Did you get that? Okay. A manager is somebody saddled with responsibility of getting organizational people or departmental people or group people to achieve their organizational goal or group goal. That means every group has a goal. That means every organization has a goal. And somebody must make that goal to come to pass. It is the person called the manager. It is the person called the manager. Without the manager, the organizational goal cannot be achieved. So from there you can derive what management is, this and that. Okay. Now, management as a concept is not the same thing as management as a process. Most times you ask people what is management, they define to you process and not concept. Are you getting it? Okay. Now, as somebody in academics, you should understand that concept is different from process. Concepts have to do with meanings, definition, application, uses, and types. We talk about, we call it contextual concepts. Why processes have to do with step by step or things that are involved. Did you get that point? Okay. Now let me also take management from process angle. Management processes refers to elements that constitute management. And what are these elements? These elements are acronymed as POSCOR. They have an acronym of POSCOR, which means planning, organizing, leading, controlling the resources, budgeting, and even starting of the organization or the team or the department. Every process that brings me to planning, organizing, coordinating, starting, budgeting for the organization or for the group are just referring to processes that are put together to achieve a management process. So management is a process. A process means something that is continuous, something that goes around, something that keeps happening. So management is not an act just like that. It is what goes on from one point, it links another to another, it links another. So these are the processes that are there, and we normally acronym it with what we call POSCOR to enable you to remember them. P stands for planning, O stands for organizing, X stands for starting, C stands for coordinating, R stands for B stands for budgeting. So these are management processes. Now we are looking at the roles. Remember, from the angle of role function and role processes, functions are not the same thing as process. You should know that now. Now, function means duty. Now, the function of this projector is to project what is in this small screen of my computer. Do you think that is right? The function of this projector now is to project what is in this small screen. It stands for what? Planning, O, organizing, X, starting, COR, coordinating, B, budgeting. And the C also is commanding, another word for it. That's what it is. Okay. Now I'm trying to explain to us what a function is, and I was saying that this projector is amplifying what is in my small screen. So now, but with respect to process, it is not exactly a game. With respect to process, I can say that this projector is also one of the things in this place. One of the equipment here, which is exactly not meaning the other statement of mine, which means amplification of what is in my laptop. So we are going to look at management from this angle now. See the role function. When it comes to duty, management plays this role. Management plays this role. And I may not be specific in this, but depending on different places, the names can change. Depending also in organization, depending also in time and in industry. The terms they use in institutions are not the same terms they use in corporate organizations. The terms they use in corporate organizations is not the same they use in voluntary organizations. And also not the same thing they use in public sector. But the important thing is that the job role, the function role remains the same. For instance, we have general manager. General manager is the manager that takes a comprehensive view of entire organization. In some places it may be called BC, in some places it may be called MD, in some places it may be called coordinator, in some places it may have different baptismal names. But the point is that he is the general. Did you get that point? So it is responsible for overall management and strategic decision making for an organization or a specific business unit. A general manager can also be somebody who is asked to handle a particular branch or SBU. SBU is called Specific Strategic Business Unit. If our organization is a complex one, we can appoint somebody to be general manager for a particular strategic unit. Let me use an institution now. Let me use the University of Uyo. The University of Uyo may have a postgraduate school. And postgraduate school is so big that the school may decide to give them autonomy. And then they can appoint somebody to be the head of postgraduate school. That person is the GM, postgraduate school. Now, the school may not want to use the name GM to make it not look like a commercial business, though they are more commercial than the commercial business. So they may call them what do they call it? Dean. Good. So the dean is a GM. Are you getting it? Of that strategic business unit called postgraduate school. Postgraduate school now is called a strategic business unit because it's a different business arm of the school. And because they want a thorough work to be done there, they appointed somebody and make them independent. Can you see my definition again? Let's go back to it. GM, responsible for overall management and the strategic decision unit for entire organization. Or a strategic business unit. So, in as much as the GC is the GM, a GM also exists as the dean postgraduate unit. In other words, there is a GM reporting to a bigger GM. Now, do you know another people may not want to use that word, dean. They may want to use the word CEO. Are you getting it? I am sure there are so many people who call that your dean, CEO. That this is the CEO of this place. Are you aware? There are many people who call the VC, you call VC, CEO of this school. Are you aware? Okay. Now, you discover that the issue is not on terms. The issue is on job, role, function. The issue is the job role function. The role function. That is what the person is doing is the issue, not the title he is going with. Did you get the point? Good. Now, another one is role function 2. There could be somebody that is starting to oversee a department. In fact, even before that, there could be division. Assuming it is where we have division. Now, I know existing in your place is also our faculties or schools. Okay. Now, these are division. Now, there are divisional heads. You can also appoint GMs for their divisional head. Okay. Now, I discussed that fall under GM. Now, under divisions, you have departments. And under departments, you have units. Now, departmental head oversee specific department or functional area within an organization, such like finance, marketing, operations, and human resources. Functional areas of business are defined as areas of specific specialization. Specific specialization, that is the definition of functional area. Now, somebody heading specific functional area within an organization, such as finance, marketing, operations, human resources, and in your own case, maybe department of XYZ, maybe department of UTP, maybe department of ABC. Such people heading it are called departmental managers. You people may be going with the term HOD. Three of us, okay. Now their job is, by role function, they are departmental managers. Do you know the terms we use for our institutions are not the same terms Americans use? Americans use business terms in referring to their university. They call their VCs vice president. They don't use our term GCs. It is Britain that use those terms. So when you hear America talk about vice president, Harvard University, vice president, MIT, Massachusetts University, you may be confused, but what they mean is VC. And what the Americans call lecturers, you call lecturers is what they call professors there. It does not mean that that person is a professor cadre. Okay. Are you getting it? What you call classroom teacher is what they call professors. It does not mean that person is a professor cadre. They give good names to positions and make it more alluring. Did you get it? Okay. Now we take another one, team leader. A team leader leads team of employees, providing guidance, assigning tasks, and monitoring progress to ensure team's objectives are met. Now, teams are not groups. I'm going to specify this when I'm talking about team conflict. Teams are not groups. Groups are not teams. Now, teams are people of equal status or near equal status, independent on their own, who come together for a particular reason. Now, in every team, hierarchy does not exist. Everybody is independent and everybody assembled himself already doing something from somewhere and to form that team. When I see people from different areas in your school and ask them, please handle this project, they have become a team. They are no longer a department. Because I pick them across departments. But each department is a group. One thing that you can easily know or use to differentiate them is that in every group there is a category, but in teams, category does not exist. That is hierarchy. Let me use the word hierarchy.
In my office, even when they put people in team like this, they still
create hierarchy. They don't know what they are doing. They are abusing the word. When I will be talking about him, I will take time to dwell on it. But let me now continue. Let's say in the department now, they appoint certain people to handle project work. They become project teams. What qualifies them to be in that place is not their category, their hierarchy. But they were chosen to do a particular work. A particular ad hoc work. Ad hoc work. That is a standing committee work. That can be disbanded immediately the work is accomplished. Did you get it? Okay, so we say this as team. And when that team achieves their goal, you disband them. Now, teams need to appoint among themselves one person to head them. It is called team leader. The function of the team leader is just to head the team.
Not to do the work. Honestly, I want to ask some questions that bother me in my own family.
Okay.
Because if the team leader, the director will give an instruction, and when they come, they appoint a team, and they're ready.
Their life is frustrating. It will come back. Go on.
So the team leader will just give an instruction and take off. And by the time they ask, he will just say, I appoint this to do. Does it mean that the team leader must not work or must not lead by example, must not be in charge of the work?
It's part of the work, like any other person. Are you not aware that the senior president is also aware and working like any other senator? He is a team leader. Are you not aware that every football captain plays in the same field with every other player, doing the same thing with other districts? He is doing the same work. He is a team leader. Now, team leaders do the same thing with their colleagues, only that they are called prima facie. That is one above equal. One, you must have heard of that word. Prima facie, that is one above equal. And they are always being elected by the team members or appointed by the person overseeing the team. Okay. Now, that team member who appoints people, he can ask somebody to do this. Okay, it's okay. But he is also working, and he also supposed to be working in case he's not working. If he's not working and just ordering, he has made himself a manager, no longer a team leader. Which is possible. Some people can leave their job and start doing another job. Did you get it? Maybe we will flog that more when we're talking about it. So the next thing is this. So team leader leads the team of employees, providing guidance, assigning tasks, just like you said, and monitoring progress to ensure that the team's objectives are met. Did you see it? Okay. Then the other one is the project manager. Is there a project? Is there something that's supposed to be done ad hocly? Let me use the word ad hoc in a verbal form. Now, is there an assignment that needs to be finished? Every project is an assignment that needs to be finished within a given time. And something like that. Let's say project defense. Let's say conducting an exam is a project. Are you getting it? You don't conduct the exam every time. School map has 3 weeks or 4 weeks for it. Is it not so? Sometimes 2 weeks or a week. Now, those things are projects. Now, they appoint Professor Obi manage this year's exam for us. Now, Professor Obi XYZ now plan, organize, and do everything about that exam. Ordinarily, if there is a department who does that, that can be assigned to them. Are you getting the point? Okay. So, a person that will now supervise that area is called project manager. He can go with any title. Always remember, he can go with any title. Manages the planning, execution, and completion of a specific project, ensuring it is delivered on time within budget and meets the project objectives. Then there are operational managers. Now, this is the person who sees all day-to-day operations of a business, ensuring efficient processes, resource allocation, and delivery of products and services, Now, there are sales managers. These are managing sales teams, setting sales targets, developing strategies, monitoring and performance to achieve its revenue goal. And these are human resources. Your organization might be calling it establishment. In institution, they use the word establishment, isn't it? Okay, they have human resources. What of personnel? Did they also use the word personnel? Why are they duplicating things?
in still human resource under
establishment, because the civil service use the word.
Yes. We have personnel, human resource.
Okay.
We are going to, in one word, if they ask, we are going for personnel. They will just say human resource. We are going to the Department of recruitment. In one word, all those grammar, all in one word.
Human resource. Okay, good. I think the modern language for that now, what we call personnel management, is HR and human resource management. Because personnel management more or less discusses about or handles people, and does not go deeper to look at the resources that come from human beings, which include capacity, different level of capacity, talent, and other things. It is because in the modern day the world is beginning to discover many things that are appendages to human beings. That is why the advocacy of calling it human resources management has become the issue. And you know that those traditional days of civil service, they are using the word establishment. So when they employ people, they call it establishment system. But to let them sink everything to HRM now. This HRM now is responsible for managing the organizational human resources.
HRM is really used in the company. HRM.
Yes.
Companies are used.
Yes, because companies are easy to change to new trends more than civil service structures.
Go ahead.
Okay. Private sectors are easy to change more than public sector organizations. That is why you observe that. Now, financial manager manages the financial resources of an organization, including budgeting, financial analysis, and financial analysis and reporting. Okay. Now you people have what they call boss payroll and the rest, isn't it? So you discover that they fall into your financial management, because I know you people may not have financial manager, because hardly do civil service go for credit. They depend on subvention. So bursary handles subvention more than the financial manager. Financial manager do a lot with getting credit, managing credit, discussing those things, and knowing how best to handle them. That is why that is the term we normally use in private sector. Then let's look at role processes. I'm leaving functional processes. I want to go into role processes. Remember the drawing I drew to you on. Okay, remember the explanation I gave to you about roles. Okay. That as a woman now, you are different things to different people. True of us, you're somebody's mother. You're somebody's husband. You're somebody's daughter. You're somebody's wife. You're somebody's sister. Only you. You're somebody's boss. You are also somebody's mentor. You are also somebody's mentee. Somebody's mentoring you. Only you have all these things. You are also somebody's citizen. You are citizen of the governor of your state. Okay. So because of this, you are many. Yeah, you are many things to many people. Role processes with respect to management refers to role the manager can play. One of the roles the manager can play is that the manager is the leader and the decision taker. The manager is the leader and he is the decision taker. Managers in any role are responsible for providing direction, for providing leadership. So your duty as a head, your duty is also to provide direction. You have to set goals, make decisions, guide the team members towards achieving their goals. That is a role. That is a process that must be accomplished by you. Number 2 is that planning and strategy is your role. It's one of the things you must accomplish. Management involved in developing plans and strategy. Plans are bringing tomorrow to today. Strategy are revisable plans. You should know this. Plans is you bringing tomorrow to today, seeing how tomorrow will be from today. Now, plans, the strategy are revisable plans. That is what I have explained on that plan. In a revisable mode, reviewable mode. Now, management roles involve developing plans and strategies to achieve organizational objectives. This includes setting goals. When we talk about planning, what does it really involve or get to be? It involves setting goals, setting targets, creating action plans to achieve those goals, allocating resources to achieve those goals, determining the best course of action to achieve that desired outcome we are planning. Those outcomes can be called results. They can be called targets. They can be called targets. They can be called results. Now, achieving them. Now, this last one is called planned action. The first plan is called action plan. So, you set action plan and you plan action. Okay. Now, don't fail to understand what are involved in planning. It is easy to talk about planning without knowing what it is in planning. And everything you're learning now, you can apply it also in private lives. Most importantly, did you get it? Most importantly, before you apply something to organization, first of all, apply it to your own personal life. Because that is the only thing you have more than the organization. Okay. The other one is organizing and coordinating. It's another role that is being handled as a process. Now, managers does this because these are, you remember I told you postcode, which I call planning. You have seen me mention the planning on number 2. I mentioned command, which you see me starting with, which is leadership and decision making. That is command or directing. Another word for it is directing. Then you have seen me again. I'm now taking organizing and coordination. Now, managers are responsible for organizing the resources, both human and non-human, within their area of responsibility. Now, there are 5 resources organization have, every organization has. That is called manager, manpower, money, material, and machine. Including your organization. These are 5 resources they have. Management, number 1. Number 2, manpower, which means people that are not managed. Number 3, money. Number 4, machines. Number 5, materials. Every organization on earth have these 5 resources. And everything they are doing revolves around these 5 resources. Are you getting it? Okay. So managers also coordinate and organize them. The next one is that managers monitor and control as a result of feedback. Anything you do not monitor is bound to be lost. Anything you do not control is bound to get into excesses or abuse. So managers make sure that things do not get into loss, abuse, or into act of control. You hear people use the word act of control. True or false? Okay. It means that things have gone into excess, beyond bound, beyond the set benchmark that the organization says that this thing will revolve around. Okay. Now, managers have the responsibility to monitor the progress of what their team or their department is doing, ensuring that that work is being carried out effectively and efficiently. They track performance indicators, they evaluate outcomes, and they take corrective actions when necessary. Monitoring and control help managers everywhere to keep the project on track and to identify any issues or obstacles that fall outside what they plan. Things that may fall outside of planning or may not be contained in the planning, and they also make necessary adjustments. And one key element to doing this monitoring and control is what we call feedback. There must be a feedback mechanism. There must be a way you get information, a feedback of what is going on. Those things are called feedback mechanisms. There must be a way you get information about what is going on to make sure that what is going on is what is planned out. It is what is on paper. Remember, every plan must be on paper. Any plan that is not on paper is not a plan. It is a wishful thinking. Every plan that is not written down is a wishful thinking, and a wishful thinking is that it's like the thinking of how did they say, if horses are beggars, beggars would have been riding on horseback. That is the way they say that thing. If wishes are horses, that the lamb would have been riding on horseback. You know that's the adage. Okay. Now, if you don't have that plan written down, it is not a plan, you are just wishfully thinking. If you don't have that goal written down, you are just having a good time thinking. You are not serious. So every plan must be written down. The way to achieve it must be written down. Action plan for it must be written down. The way to pursue it must be written down. Planning action also must be written down. So as these things start going on, you will be checking them whether they are being achieved or not. That is where the feedback comes in. The thing you get from the feedback, now you use it to monitor and control. You must have understood what I mean? Okay, then the sixth one is, communication is number 5. Now, communication and relationship building. Every manager communicates. I tell people that close to 90% of managers' work or leaders' work is in communicating. Communicating vision, communicating mission, communicating values, communicating programs, communicating procedures, communicating activities, communicating tasks. So, manager's job is not to answer phone just for answering as many people think, but it involves with active communication. This active communication comes by speaking, it comes by writing, it comes by gesture, it comes by communicating using every way of communicating. And at every opportunity, the manager has, he is communicating what the organization is doing, wants to do, will do, envisions to do, programs to do, and process to do. Are you getting it? Okay. Now, that is why it is not possible to be effective manager without being effective communicator. Every manager needs to attend training on effective communication to know how best to communicate. Otherwise, you are not really communicating with your people. And it is an aberration to think that you are communicating when you are not communicating. Did you get my point?
How do you know that you are communicating?
Yes, very good question. You know that you are communicating when exactly what you mean is exactly what is being received by the receiver.
So, just like what the president did May first, the minimum wage will be implemented. Now when they brought out their script, take it to July. Does that mean that they effectively communicated to the people?
If the people understood what he meant at the first time, he effectively has communicated. But if the people didn't understand what he meant, then he has not communicated. Are you getting it? Now you are talking of the implementation. That's a different ballgame. If the first day he said it, the people understood that he's not going to implement it, that means they have got it.
The Minister of Labour came in and said, a minimum wage starts 1st May.
Okay.
But by the time the schedule is out, the model is out, they now say the backdated is to July.
Okay.
No, I'm just using that as
an example, yeah.
Does that mean, in quotes of communication, I'm talking about in a normal, as a director, you're passing an information to your audience to do one. By the time they say, this is not what they say now. Isn't what I gave you that? And does that mean that the president has communicated effectively to the people?
You know what they do in politicking is that they lie. They intentionally lie and want you to work with their lie, believing their lie. So that when you now believe their lie, they go ahead to do what they want. They know what they are doing. Their case is different. They are not sincere. They are not sincere. And that is how they deceive the world. They are deceivers. Okay. Now, another thing to that communication is relationship building. Effective managers make sure that relationships are well built, because you can't achieve much where the people are fighting or where there are internal fighting, where relationships are not proper. We will also mention something like that when we're talking about team conflict. When there is a conflict in a group or in a place, don't think you should go to sleep, that it doesn't concern you. After all, you are not the person conflicting. No, every person in that group is suffering as a result of that conflict of one person. I will elucidate on this when I will be talking about team conflict situations and how to handle them. Are you getting it? Okay. Now, the sixth one is problem solving and decision making. Problem solving. Managers often encounter challenges and problems that need to be addressed. And it is important that managers know how to handle problems. One fastest way of becoming a leader is to be a problem solver. You can't be a manager when you can't solve problems. Under normal circumstances, you can't even be an employee when you are not going to solve problems. Every employee is employed to solve problems. Are you getting it? Every employee is employed to solve problems. If you must be employee, effective employee, a contributory employee, an employee that is what is solved, you must be solving one kind of problem or the other. You must be solving the problem of teaching, or the problem of administration, or the problem of cleaning, or the problem of supplying, or the one kind problem or the other. Your not solving problem makes you redundant and useless in that system. If that is the case, you can imagine the manager now. He must encounter challenges and problems that need to be addressed, and is responsible for analyzing situations. Responsible for analyzing situations and identifying issues, and then finding solutions to problems. Managers don't sleep when there is problems there. Managers need to make informed decisions based on available information and consider the potential impact that the decision will have on the stakeholders. In life, it is important to pay more attention to the consequence of the decisions you are taking more than that decision itself. Are you getting it? Because you live with the consequence of the decision. The decision may be what you take under 1 second or 2 seconds, but the consequence of it, you live with it for long. You are aware? So managers pay a lot of attention to the decision consequence, even more than the decision. Then the seventh, before I move into practices, is what we call performance management. Managers play a key role in managing the performance of their team members. Managers play a key role in managing the performance of their key members. This includes setting performance expectations. What is the expected of participants that are in this group? The manager's duty falls in there. The manager providing feedback, coaching, and mentoring, conducting performance evaluation, and what we call performance appraisal, and recognizing and rewarding achievements. These are what managers do. These are what managers do. They play key role in managing the performances of the people in their group or in their team. Provide them the key to work with, provide them the things to work with, provide them things that they should make use of. Also provide them expectations